Welcome to Feelosophy with Simian, the world's first animal podcast where we connect heart to heart with the animals who share our planet. Here, we don't just study animals, we truly listen to them. If your heart feels a little more open by the end, remember to subscribe to the podcast. Enjoy the show. Welcome, Mr. Stray. I'm glad you're here. Before we dive into the big topics, let's start with something simple. Have you eaten today?
Thank you for having me here, Simian. Yeah, I did eat today. There's this woman near the tea stall. She left some rice and chicken for me, and I wagged a little more than I meant to. Some days are like that, you know? Nice, gentle.
Wonderful. If you're still feeling hungry, go ahead and snack on the treats right in front of you.
Thank you, Mr. Simian. Your kindness is truly appreciated.
So here is my first question. When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thought that crosses your mind? Is it hunger or safety?
For stray dogs, it's safety first. A car won't slow down just because I'm tired. A stone can come flying out of nowhere. So before I even think about food, I look for a safe corner, somewhere I won't get chased or hit or run over. As a pet, you wake up thinking, oh, breakfast. But for strays, okay, how do I survive today?
Wow, that's intense. I also wanted to ask you something about your barking in the middle of the night when stray dogs bark. What are we not seeing from your side?
That's really a good question. Well, a bark to human is noise, but for us, the stray dogs, it is a language, a boundary, a declaration that I too belong here. We are also territorial. When you live on the street, you don't have walls, you know? The corner, the lane, that becomes your boundary. So when I bark, I'm not declaring war. I'm saying, this is where I sleep, this is where I belong. Humans have doors and locks. I have my voice.
Wow. Humans have doors and locks. I have my voice. That's such a clean, powerful analogy. Love it. Since you mentioned boundary, when another pack crosses your boundary, what does that mean to you? Is it threat, competition, or just misunderstanding?
Well, when another pack enters our area, it means uncertainty. It could be hunger, it could be curiosity, but it could also mean more tension. On the street, space is limited. Food is limited, safety is limited. So when unfamiliar dogs enter, our first instinct is not friendship, it's assessment. Sometimes it becomes conflict. Sometimes it ends with both sides stepping back. It isn't hatred, it's survival. If we had abundance, maybe we would have fewer fights.
That's quite insightful. I am also curious to know, how do you decide which human to trust?
I don't decide fast. First, I watch from a distance. Then I look at humans' eyes. Not all eyes are kind. Some look at me like I am dirt. Your hands matter too. A hand that comes from above quickly, I step back. A hand that waits, I come closer. And your smell. I know fear, anger, alcohol, kindness. You cannot hide that from me. But even then, I don't trust fully. I trust in layers.
Actually, let me ask you this. Do you remember the first human who showed you kindness?
When I was really tiny, thin, always hungry. One evening near a temple, a woman stopped. Not because I barked, not because I followed her. She just stopped. She sat down and placed some rice on the ground. That was new to me. I didn't eat at first. I waited. She waited too. When I finally took a bite, she smiled. That day I learned something important. Kindness does not rush. I remember her, my first human crush.
Lovely. Since you mentioned human crush, who was your first dog love? Do stray dogs fall in love in the first place?
When a female is in heat, the air changes. We can smell it from far away. Our legs start moving before we even think. But that is not the whole story. There are many female stray dogs in the city. Yet once in a while there is one whose presence feels familiar. We walk beside each other longer. We share food instead of fighting over it. We rest in the same patch of shade. So do we fall in love? Maybe not the way humans write it. There are no promises, no forever tales. But there is closeness. There is protection.
Mr. Stray, I would now reflect more upon your thoughts on the pet dogs. What do you think about pet dogs who live inside homes?
I envy them. Yes, I envy their safety. They wake up knowing food will come. They sleep without listening for engines or footsteps. Rain does not decide where they rest. That kind of certainty is powerful. But I also pity them. They have rules, leashes, commands, closed doors. They wait for permission to step outside. They guard a house that is not theirs. But I, as a stray, I guard the sky. Some nights when the cold bites, I wish for their blanket. Some mornings when I run freely down an empty road, I wonder if they wish for this breeze on their face.
I see what you are saying. The grass is not green on the other side. One trick question for you. If the city could hear you for 1 minute, what would you say to humans?
I would not bark. I would speak softly. I would say, we were not born to disturb you. We were born here the same way you were. These streets are not just roads to us. This is where we eat, sleep, and raise our young. When you throw stones, we do not understand why. When you shout, we only hear danger. When you show kindness, we remember it for years. We are asking just a little space, a little patience. If we bark at night, it is because we are guarding something. If we growl, it is because we are afraid. If we follow you, it is because you felt safe. So if you hear us, don't just hear noise. Hear survival.
Mr. Stray, here is an intense question for you. If you were born again, would you choose to be a stray dog?
That is a heavy question. Being a stray is not a dream. It is not a choice. It is something you wake up inside. If I am honest, I would not choose the hunger. I would not choose the fear of engines at night. But I would miss the open sky. I would miss running without a leash. So if I were born again, I would not choose to suffer. But I would choose to be brave.
One last question, Mr. Stray. If this is your story, how do you want it to end?
Well, I just don't want it to end suddenly. Not under a tire. Not hit by a fast-moving vehicle on the highway. Not in a corner where no one notices. Maybe one day when I am too old to run fast. I do not want to be chased, not shouted at.
Mr. Stray, thank you for trusting us with your story. You reminded us that survival has wisdom, that boundaries have meaning. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Simian. Thank you for this opportunity to share our voice.